So now here we are, we're in Rathgar Test Centre, and we're going to be taking a left out of the driving test centre now. So mirror signal left, keep close to the gate on the left side, be aware of the footpath, give way to pedestrians at all times, and it's clear, so just move on out. Okay, so at the traffic lights up here, we're going to be taking a left. So we're going to be checking the middle and left mirror. Bit tight this turn, traffic on the right hand lane tend to close in on top of you, so keep nice and tight. Nice and tight turn and a quick glance to the right. Now this road has quite a lot of ramps on it, okay? Some of these ramps are spaced so you'll be able to get the third between them, but some of them are spaced that you'll have to stay in second. So build your speed and make progression. Build your speed up to third, and then centre mirror back to 2. Now we're going to indicate round the van, so mirrors signal, allow a car door width, cancel, and we'll stay out here now because we have another car coming toward us and a car parked on our left side, so he'll move in, so we didn't have to move back into the space on our left. Now there's no room here now to go to third, so just build your speed in second. It's important to make progress, so when it's safe, build your speed up. Speed limit is 50 kilometers per hour. So in third, we're slowing down, so centre mirror, back to 2, over the ramp calmly and build your speed away. Now make progress. Now, another ramp coming. So again, centre mirror, back down to 2, and at the traffic lights then we're going left. So main mirror and left mirror, and signal left. Now this particular turn that we're about to take is quite sharp, okay? So we'll have to go around it very cautiously. We're first in queue, so we'll pull up our handbrake and go into first gear. Okay, so I would recommend if you're first in queue at these lights or second, that you stay in first gear for the whole of this turn. If you're approaching it in second, just slow the car right down and make sure you're coming around it very, very gently. So we're just waiting on the traffic lights. While you're sitting waiting, just have a little look around the mirrors. You might see a cyclist coming up your left side. It's always good just to keep an eye on things. Okay, so we're just waiting. Okay, so since the light is going to change to green shortly, so 3 mirrors starting with the left, middle and right. Keep it slow, check the junction both sides, focus on your steering method. Don't accelerate too much, steer back, then build your speed. Okay, so position on the road is close to the left. We're advancing up through our gears. Speed limit is 50 kilometers per hour. And we're going to proceed straight through the junction. Now, green light means proceed with caution, so we check both sides. And again, make progress. So sitting at 50 kilometers per hour now. And now at the traffic lights up here, we're going to go to the left hand side. So it's main mirror and left mirror, signal to the left. Now, some people say that this is just a continuation of the road. If the examiner tells you to turn left, then you signal. If the examiner doesn't tell you to turn left, just follow the road. Now, we're first in queue, so we're going to go into first gear. And we're just going to have a look around our mirrors again. Now, so we're sitting patiently, we're in first gear because we're first in queue, our handbrake is applied, and we're just waiting for the lights to change. Now, a lot of the time a filter light comes on for the left turn here, so it's important to keep a close eye on the very left hand side traffic light. Okay, still just waiting. Now there's the filter light, so 3 mirrors starting left from right. Keep tight on the turn, and then we're just staying left here now, and glance to the right, and again, make progress. Driving too slow is not acceptable. You must show you have confidence, but do not break the speed limit. Another ramp, so centre mirror, because we're slowing, back to 2. And now we're taking the next right up here. So main mirror, right mirror, signal right. Now we position our car just left of the centre. We're approaching in second. We have a gap in the traffic. We look across into the road and we turn. Now as we look down the road, we see a black car making its way up, so we hold back. This is what we call a hazard. We don't want to drive up and narrow the road. Now a hazard can be anything that could cause you to slow down or change direction as you're driving. And very often the hazards are quite obvious, it's just that people don't generally look for them. So just look at anything which may cause you some difficulty and avoid going at pace towards such things. Now we're turning right at the end of the road, so main mirror, right mirror. Now, as we approach the end of the road, we have no view, so we clutch goes in just at the end, into first, and we're going to creep forward. Keep looking both sides, and then commit to your turn. And again, make progress away from your turn, advancing up to second, and up to third. Check the centre mirror when you change your gear also. Back to second for the ramp. Keep back from the narrowness of the road. And we're turning right. So main mirror, right mirror. Again, sometimes this can be classified as straight, but if the examiner says to you to turn right, then you indicate. And we have to yield to the traffic on our left side here. So keep looking left as well, and then proceed. Now, we're going to go left at the stop sign here. This is Frankfort Avenue. Middle left mirror signal left. And we're coming down into Rathmines, towards Rathmines village. So stop at the stop line. Okay, looking both ways. There seems to be time to turn. And we're going to turn. Building our speed. Be aware of the car door, that's a hazard on the left hand side. And building our speed up to 50 kilometers per hour. So look for vehicles that may wish to pull out, look for pedestrians standing at the edge of the curb. These are all hazards. The cyclist could become a hazard as they don't cycle in a straight line. And we're holding back because we're now going to be passing parked cars at the same time as they are. So we hold back and give them priority. Now, we're going to take the next right. So main mirror, right mirror, signal right. This brings us up into an interesting little one-way system where there's a church. Okay, so it's clear from ahead. It's clear on the right. And this is Church Avenue. Now this church could be likened to a roundabout. Imagine the grassy part of a roundabout. The church is built in it, so the roundabout goes around the church. Now, you're going straight through. So we approach the roundabout. We do not signal because we're traveling straight. We check to the right and give way to the right. This person doesn't seem to know what they want to do, so okay, he's waving us in, so we're going to carry on. Just keep slightly to the left. Keep an eye on the side roads. You're on the main road. And now we're turning left off here. So main mirror, left mirror. And we've signaled left and we're off. And at the traffic lights now, we're going to be taking a right at the lights. So main mirror, right mirror, signal, position tight to the centre. And then just stop calmly before the line. Remember to check your centre mirror as you're slowing up to stop. We're first in queue, so it's handbrake and into first gear. Now we're going to be turning right now onto Palmerston Road. So, light has gone green. So as we're the first car, we move towards the centre of the junction, looking both sides. And we stop in line with our turn. Keep an eye on the side roads. The light is changing. So now, because we are in the middle, we have to complete when safe. Don't feel bad about doing that. That's perfectly normal. And now the doors of this van are open. So this is a hazard. So main mirror, right mirror, signal right. Okay. The road gets a little bit narrower up here, so the tighter it gets, the slower you go. And then we build our speed. Again, look about making progress. Be careful when you need to be and be confident when you can be. back to second for the ramp, and then build our speed again. Oh, that was a hazard. We slowed down, that's fine. And up to third again. Vehicle emerging on our right side, so we keep an eye on him. Again, these are all hazards. Building our speed. And once again, we're checking our centre mirror, braking, and back to 2 for the ramps. Now we're turning right up here at the lights, so main mirror, right mirror, signal, and we position tight to the centre. Light is still green. Look both sides, look into your road, and then turn. Now we're on Cowper Road. Building our speed again. Potential reverse around the corner into Palmerston Gardens there. Not used that often anymore, but still something to keep in mind. And now we're going to turn right into Cowper Downs. So main mirror, right mirror, signal. Looking ahead and looking into the road on the right hand side. Turning in at a nice right angle. And then we're turning right again. So main mirror, right mirror. Again, we can't see, so clutch goes in just at the end. Pop into first. And then carry on. Make progress, build our speed. So anywhere in here now is a potential turnabout. And we're going to turn left here. Main mirror, left mirror. Back to 2. And then we're going to pull over to the left along here. And we're going to stop on the left and do a turnabout here. Handbrake, neutral, cancel signal. Okay, so we're in Cowper Downs. We're going to do a turnabout. Contrary to belief, you do not have to do this manoeuvre in 3 manoeuvres. The only requirement is that you turn the vehicle around between the 2 curbs without touching in a safe fashion. The examiner will be watching for your observation and your competency while doing this manoeuvre. So we're going to start the manoeuvre now. So we're going to go into gear, look in our mirrors from left to right, signal goes on, check your blind spot, and if it's safe we move across the road, moving slowly, turning quickly. We can use the clutch as much as we like on this manoeuvre. And as we look down below our mirror, we can see the curb, and we start to straighten out our steering wheel. And we stop. Now the handbrake is optional. If you feel that you want to pull the handbrake up, that's fine, okay? So we go into reverse, we look up and down the road for traffic, and then through the back window. And we start reversing back, move slowly, turn the wheel quickly. When you're halfway across the road, look over your right shoulder through your back passenger window, and you will see the curb. Where your door ends is where your back wheel is, so get your back door up close to the curb, and we start to straighten as we get close. And we stop. Again, handbrake if you wish. And then we're going to go into first gear, looking up and down the road, and then moving again slowly, and turning the wheel quickly. And then at the end of the manoeuvre, the examiner will generally ask you to pull in on the left and stop. So we'll just indicate left, select a safe place to stop, and stop nice and calmly. Once you've stopped, handbrake, neutral, cancel your indicator, and then await further instructions from the examiner. Now, okay, we've just completed our turnabout in Cowper Downs, and we're going to move off. So we go into gear, look in our mirrors from left to right, signal, check our blind spot, and then move away calmly. And we're going to take a right at the end of the road. So main mirror, right mirror, signal is on. Nice and slow, nice and steady, all clear. Keep looking and turn. Again, building our speed to suit the area. Now we're going to turn left up here now. So main mirror, left mirror. Now there will be some parked cars on the bend here, so we're going to have to slow right down. Potentially go into first gear if required. And we're turning right at the end of the road. So main mirror, right mirror, signal right. Okay, so our view is poor. So we're going to come to a stop, and we see this car waiting to turn the other side. Okay, so now they're gone, so we're clear to move out slowly. And then we complete our turn. Again, making progress away from the turn. Remember, if you can, to glance at your centre mirror whenever you change a gear. Now we have some cyclists who are taking up the whole road, that's fine. We'll just stay back from them. And we're turning left at the end of the road, okay? So main mirror and left mirror. And make sure now we take up a tight position towards the curb. We're going to stop well back from the cyclist. Creep forward. Our view is restricted. So we're going to creep out and make our way along, giving enough room for a car door to open on our left side. If you can't give that room, you can always consider going slower or stopping. Now we're coming up to a set of traffic lights. Now I have time, so I'm going to choose to go back to second. Stopping in third would also be fine. In an emergency, you can stop in whatever gear you wish. So here, there's no right-hand turn sign ahead. So we're following the road around to the left, and then once we've followed the road around to the left, we're taking an immediate right. So we're allowed to turn right around the bend, but not at this junction. So we're in neutral this time because we're not first in queue, keeping an eye on our mirrors, just to give a good idea of what could happen as we go to move off. Lights green, so into first. 3 mirrors left to right. As you cross the line, check the junction, and we're turning right now onto Dartry Road. So main mirror, right mirror, all is good, so keep up your progression. So right here onto Dartry Road. Building our speed to 50 kilometers. Into fourth, maintain your speed, and we're going left at the lights. So main mirror, left mirror, signal. Down through your gears, bring your hand back up to the wheel each time. Back to 2. Check the junction and turning left. And we'll pull in beside the curb in this parking area now. And once you've stopped, we go handbrake, neutral, cancel signal. So, I'm going to move off. So mirrors, signal is on, blind spot is checked, all clear, so we're going to move forward. We cancel our signal, and when you're halfway past the road, mirrors signal to the left. So we're just going to go past the ramp. We're going to stop nicely here. Okay. Handbrake, neutral, cancel signal. Now, so same procedures again. We're going to be reversing around this corner. So we go into reverse, look round our mirrors, do our lighthouse look, 360 degrees. Nothing coming, so we start reversing towards the corner. Nice and steady. Be on the lookout for traffic coming up from behind, or indeed coming out of the road that we're reversing into. Pedestrians are also a factor at all times. Nothing coming. Now we're about to start turning in, so we're going to pause, check our blind spot as the front of our car will start moving into the centre of the road. We want to make sure that it's safe, and start turning in. Checking to the right again, looking into the road at the back occasionally, keep viewing the curb in the mirror. Looking right again, and here's the curb nicely in view. Get straight with the curb, little glance right again, and continue back parallel to the curb, somewhere within 18 inches if possible. And stop then, when the examiner asks you. So we'll stop here. Handbrake on, into neutral, and that completes your reverse around the corner. So we're going to move off now. So we check all 3 mirrors, signal to the right, check our blind spot and move away. And we're going right, so main mirror, right mirror. Car moving on the left hand side, so we wait. Keep looking both sides. Our view is slightly blocked, and there's a car coming from the left, so we're just going to hold in this position. Just holding on the clutch here for a moment because we're going to be moving again quite quickly. Keep looking, right and left and right. And then we're turning left back onto Dartry Road. So main mirror, left mirror. Quite a dangerous junction this. There's a bend on your right hand side and it's very hard to see traffic, and there's flashing amber arrow, which means yield. So come up softly, go to first, keep looking, and then move out safely. and then build your speed. Up your gears now, as far as third. Again, we have a green light, so we have to check our junction. Quick glance, everything's fine, so we proceed through. Now this bend, we would need to be back down in third gear. Nice and slow for this bend. And we're coming down the hill now, South Hill on our left. And we're turning right at the traffic lights, please. So we're going to be going middle and right mirror, signal to the right, position. Now there's a car park on the right, so we will cancel our signal now we've changed the position. We come down our gears, past the car park, and we'll signal again. The light has changed, so we are slowing down and stopping just before the line. Dropping Pub is on our right hand side. Now we stay in first gear because we're first in queue. The handbrake is applied. When the light goes to green, we move to the centre of the junction in line with our turn. So we go into first gear, move to the centre, look ahead, traffic seems to be clear, so we're going to make our turn. Always turn at a nice right angle into your road. Driving up the hill. This hill can be used for hill starts. And we're going to take a left just at the top of the hill after the bus stop. Some mirrors, signal. We're going into Churchtown Drive. And then we're going to turn left again. So mirrors, middle and left, and signal left. Into Churchtown Close. And we're going to pull over beside the curb on the left along here. So we stop calmly. Handbrake goes on. We go into neutral and we cancel our signal. And then we await further instructions from the examiner. So, okay, this turnabout, the road is an awful lot narrower. We have a lot less space. Now generally when a turnabout is in a narrower road, we need a lot more time to steer. So our speed must be very, very slow, okay? Also, on our left-hand side, where I've had to pull in, there's a lamppost. So that means we won't have as much space within the road as we would have if the lamppost wasn't present, because we're worried about the bodywork of the car touching off the lamppost. So it's worth considering. Narrower the road, the slower you need to go, the more precise you need to be. I would not anticipate doing this manoeuvre in 3 manoeuvres here. Again, it is a turnabout, it doesn't need to be done in 3. I would take 5 manoeuvres to do this manoeuvre here. Okay, so mirrors, signal, blind spot as before. Move slowly, very slowly. Turn the wheel very quickly. Now we're getting quite close to the curb. I'm looking down below my driver's mirror and I'm straightening the wheel up and I'm stopping. Now, I am very aware now of the presence of the lamppost behind me, so we're going to be stopping quite short of the lamppost to avoid any small accidents. Okay, so look up and down the road and through the back window. Move slowly, turn quickly. Now switch to the right shoulder, but now the lamppost is still present, so we'll have to look back to our left shoulder, check our distance from the lamppost. And I think that's fine. I don't think we're going to go any further. Again, look up and down for traffic, go into first gear, moving slowly forward. We can take our time. Sometimes it's very easy to get pressured in this situation. Don't get pressured. Take your time. The examiner is more than happy to allow you the time required to do the manoeuvre. Now look up and down the road again, and then through the back window. Move slow, turn quick. Now the lamppost is no longer a factor. Looking over the right shoulder to see where the curb is, and stopping. So that's 4 manoeuvres. So we're looking up and down the road again, and this is our 5th manoeuvre. And I'm just going to pull up past this silver car on the left hand side. So to recap, the narrower roads require slower speed, more control of your vehicle, Do not be anxious. Take your time. Do the maneuver the way that you would like to do it yourself. Do not feel under pressure. The examiners can see that the road is narrow, so just take your time and you will have no problem doing the maneuver. And remember, you can take as many turns as you wish. So now we're moving off. We're leaving Churchtown Close, turning right onto Churchtown Drive. Some mirrors, signal. Approach with caution. Make sure you're viewing the junction equally in both ways, and when it's safe, just proceed. Take an extra look to the left just as you're coming out. Now we're going to go left at the end of the road, which is onto Lower Churchtown Road. So make sure to stop fully at the stop sign. And come to a stop, look equally, and we have a cyclist on our left hand side. So we wait, look both ways equally, and when safe, we'll just proceed gently. That's fine now, and we're going to go up to the speed limit, which is 50 kilometers per hour. Building our speed nice and gently. Perfect opportunity to get into fourth gear along here. Show the examiner that you're making progress. Nice clear road for the moment. And we see some parked vehicles on the left hand side. So we're going to check our mirrors, signal, beware of the car door width, and proceed again. Now we're approaching a bend, and on this bend on the left hand side we have a Lewis station, so be aware of buses and pedestrians and cars. Keep to the left on the bend as well. People get caught out driving too near the white line on this bend all the time. And further ahead we have a set of traffic lights. Now at the traffic lights we're going to take a right, and just before the traffic lights we have a yellow box and a keep clear marking, so be careful not to stop on either of those markings. There's room for one vehicle after the keep clear if the light is red. So we're approaching, so it's going to be mirrors, signal to the right, be aware of the vehicle on the left, stop just after the keep clear marking, and now we wait for the light to change to green. Okay, so when the light goes to green, we're going to move out to the centre of the junction and wait for a gap in the traffic. So handbrake is applied, we're sitting in first gear. Just take a view into the junction occasionally as well to make certain there's no issue. So we're moving out to the centre. Okay, we see a car coming round the bend, so we're uncertain as to whether it's safe, so we'll just hold still. We're looking for a gap which would be equal to the space you would require to walk across. Now look into the turn and turn. Now you'll see some parked vehicles on the left hand side here. Now we may have to cross the white line, so we're going to go mirrors, signal, and move beyond the line. And be certain to leave enough room for a car door to open, and if there are oncoming vehicles, just hold back and let them come through. So just keep proceeding. We see a vehicle coming the other way, so we're just going to go a little bit slower. Be certain of your car door width. Move round. Okay, and then once you're clear of the parked vehicles, we see a sign on the left saying dangerous left bend. So just keep going nice and calmly. And now we're coming up to another bend, and it has a chevron board directing you of the change of direction towards the left side. And we're going to proceed again, and then further ahead on the left hand side we're going to take a left turn, which is into Eaton Brae. So we'll deal with these parked cars first. So mirrors, signal, nothing coming toward us, so we have our car door width, and then mirrors, signal left, because we're going to be turning left into Eaton Brae. Check your mirrors on the approach, your middle and your left mirror. Slow down, be aware of the car coming out, nice and tight. Move around the parked car, giving car door width. This is a pretty busy area now for turnabouts, so expect to see other vehicles, and try not to get in their way if the examiners are here. And we're going to pull in on the left hand side, and we're going to stop. So once we've stopped, we're going to pull on the handbrake, go into neutral, and relax. Okay, so this is Eaton Brae. It's just off Orwell Road. Okay, now this road in particular tends to be quite busy for traffic. So you want to make certain that you're always on your guard. For some reason or another, traffic don't seem to slow down very much when they see us doing this. So you be very vigilant and observant and make certain to give right of way to other drivers as they are just travelling straight. So we're going mirrors from left to right, blind spot, signal is on, moving across, turning quickly, moving the car slowly, straightening up as we get near the curb, stopping before we touch the curb, into reverse, look up and down the road for traffic, through the back window, continue the manoeuvre, look over your right shoulder when you're halfway across, and start straightening and stop just before the curb. Look left and right, no cars coming, again be vigilant, be on the lookout for the cars, and continue the manoeuvre. And then we'll pick our spot on the left side to pull over. There's a vehicle coming against us, so we go slow, and we stop nicely here. Okay, alright, so we're going to move off again. So mirrors have been checked from left to right, signal is on, blind spot is checked, all clear, so we're moving away calmly. And we have our local cards, so we're just going to move out of their way, nice and calm. We're leaving Eaton Brae now, turning back left onto Orwell Road. We cannot see as we approach, so we're going to stop, go into first gear, keeping a tight position to the left, and then looking both ways and proceeding. Now we're turning left now, so middle and left mirror and signal left. And this is Braemor Park. Mount Carmel Hospital is on your right hand side just as you drive up here. So we keep an eye on the exit to the hospital for hazards. And we have two signs here. We have a dangerous left corner and dangerous left bend. So one is slightly contradictory to the other. So we're fine to stay in third gear as it is only a bend. And then we're approaching the traffic lights up here and we're turning right. So middle and right mirror signal right. This is Braemor Road. Tight to the white line on your positioning for the right turn. Now here, a filter light comes on before your main green light, and the road does not have adequate width to allow vehicles to move up your left side. So it's quite common for other vehicles that are turning left to get a little bit annoyed and to maybe sound their horn, but you must stay behind the stop line as long as it's only a left filter error. As we're turning right, we cannot move beyond that line, so you have to have the strength of character just to stay. The examiner won't mind. The examiner knows that you're following the rules, so don't get anxious. So as you can see, filter light is on, but the red light is lit, so we have to wait. Now, there could be a vehicle trying to come up our left side. At present there isn't, but they would struggle for room. So light's gone green, 3 mirrors, look both sides as you enter the junction, turning right onto Braemor Road. Now we're approaching a right hand turn down here. Now this right hand turn, it has a absolute change of lane to a right hand lane. Now there is white markings down the centre of the road. They're called chevron lines and you're not allowed to enter them. So we're turning right at the lights, so this means we have to check our mirrors, signal right. Now additionally, when you're changing into a lane like this, we have to check our blind spot on our right shoulder. The light is green, there's nobody in the centre, so we move to the centre and we stop and wait for a gap. Look at the junction in all directions, check all roads. We're waiting for a gap. Now commonly a fault that happens here is no gap comes and the light goes to red. If the light goes to red when you're in the centre of the junction, you are entitled to complete your turn because you're in possession of the junction, as we call it. The junction cannot function unless you can clear the junction. So now we're clear to go. So don't feel bad if the light goes to red when you're in the middle. Just calmly and safely make your turn when safe. Move around the parked vehicle. Now sometimes the examiner will stop you along this small hill to do a hill start, so we're going to do that now in 1 second. So we're just going to pull over beside the curb on the left, so middle and left mirror and signal left. We're pulling in nicely beside the curb. Stopping nice and calmly. Handbrake, neutral, cancel signal. Now the examiner will generally say now they want you to move away on the hill, so you go to gear, look in your mirrors from left to right, signal. If it looks safe, check your blind spot, move away without rolling back. And continue. And we're turning left back onto Orwell Road. Mirrors have been checked, signal is on, take a good position, and we're stopping because there's vehicles coming from the right side. Keep looking both ways equally and proceed round the turn. Now we're on the final part of the route. We just have to go up this hill. Again, this hill could be used for a hill start, so we'll just proceed straight up. When you go through the junction, the test centre is further up on the right hand side, which you'll see now. Check the junction, and we're turning right up here now, so just before the bus stop, so middle and right mirror, we're signalling right. Now we're going to move onto these markings to gain access to the turn. That's the only time you're allowed to move onto these markings. And we turn in, and the test centre is just in front of us here, and come in nice and slowly, and we'll just drive straight up the car park, and we'll just turn into our parking spot on the left. And that concludes the Rathgar route.